Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Alain. I have my book mug here today with some of the books that I enjoyed when I was younger. On Saturdays, often I like to share books that I've enjoyed, have meant something to me, that maybe will mean something to you. Hopefully you will enjoy if you read. Maybe they'll just motivate you to read something else. I'm a firm believer that reading will enrich your life, help you enjoy your life, can help you stay safe if you apply the things you read from certain books, can help you succeed if you apply the things from other books. So I'm going to share a couple with you today. The three that I have today, I'm going to share Fighting the Pain-Resistant Attacker by Loren Christensen, Be a Work in Progress by Cena, and The Way of the Seal by Mark Devine. Those are the three on the list this morning. Before I get to those books, I want to remind you, this whole last week I had a 5-part series on scams that may affect you this summer if you're not being careful. If you didn't listen to those, go to enjoylifesafely.com. You can find all the videos on the blog pages. You can find the audio on the podcast page. But all those different tips will help you stay safe from some of these summer scams. While you're there, join up for the email newsletter that'll be starting in July. You'll also get some free resources. They help you stay safe right now. And the newsletters will have a whole bunch of different things to help you stay safe, help you succeed, help you communicate better. Anything I'm passionate about is fair game for the topic of the newsletters, all to help you be better and enjoy life safely. Jay and Vicky say hello. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Vicky. Appreciate you guys being here this morning. So let's get on to today's books. The first one, Fighting the Pain-Resistant Attacker. One of probably 40 or 50 books that I have by Loren Christensen throughout the years. I think he's probably written 60 or 70, so I don't have them all, but I have an awful lot of books by Loren. A number of them are signed. This one's a signed copy, which, I like my signed copies. They're sort of special in my library. I'm actually featured in a couple of Loren's books. Well, I made some small contributions to a few of his books, which I'm honored to do because I've been reading Loren stuff since way back in the early 80s when I was young. He puts out a wealth of information to help folks. This particular book focuses on that individual that for whatever reason isn't feeling pain, whether it's chemically induced, whether he's just a mutant and one of those people that don't feel pain. Regardless, if you're dealing with someone like that, sometimes your tactics and strategies have to be a little bit different to make sure you're victorious and make sure that you can get that person to do what you want if you're working in a position where you need that person to comply. And Loren is a longtime retired law enforcement officer, so he had many situations like that. We're going to look a little bit at, what he covers in here. Chapter 1, the nuts and bolts of feeling no pain, whether it's chemical induced or something else. Chapter 2, back of the head, the temple, mastoid, and eardrum. Places that you can affect somebody even if they're not feeling regular pain. Chapter 3 talks about the eyes and nose. Chapter 4 goes into the brachial plexus, the vagus nerves, throat, the back of the neck, different targets you have, different things that go on. He has a chapter on the carotid artery constriction. That's in the news a lot. Those of us that have been in the martial arts for many years are very familiar with that. I was choked out in a judo competition way back in high school. The same time that I was choked out by that judo competition, I read an article on chokes and sleeper holds by Loren Christensen and really started working and got very good at those holds and techniques. Used them both in competition and in real life situations. And then I have a video on those as well. EnjoyLifeSafely.com. You can check out my video. I tell the story about reading the article by Loren Christensen in that video in a little bonus chapter. Again, he's been influencing me for many, many years. He talks about the torso. He talks about the biceps, forearms, and fingers. fingers. A guy's not feeling pain anywhere else, sometimes they'll feel it in those fingers. Finger and manipulations can be very good. And I have a DVD on those as well. Plug. Legs, femoral nerve, knees, peroneal nerve, and then different kind of takedowns. So very good book, one of many that Loren has put out. And if you're a martial artist, if you're interested in self-defense, adding Loren's video programs, books, good collection to your library, good things to actually get out there with your training partner and practice and get proficient at. They can help you in competition. Some of his books are geared toward that, or they can help you in real life, like this book is more geared toward. So good book, first one on the list this morning. Let's go to the next one. John Cena's Be a Work in Progress. Before I start into John's book, I'm going to say hello to a couple people because I got some comments coming in. Dixon says, yep, drug-induced attackers can be completely impervious. I was filming until after 12:30 last night, so I'm a little tongue-tied this morning, but they don't feel normal pain reactions. Dixon is a longtime martial artist. He knows that. He's dealt with that. Dixon also says that's the problem with blood chokes. For drugged up victims, it often results in death rather than consciousness. Yeah, we have to be careful because when you're restricting the blood to the brain, on a normal, healthy person, again, it's legal to do in MMA and judo and jiu-jitsu, different kind of competitions. However, if somebody is chemically imbalanced and has different problems going on, doing that can cause severe problems and even death. If you keep it on too long, it can. And so there are some problems with some of those, and you have to be very careful and only use those appropriately. And sometimes it's hard to tell what's appropriate depending, you don't know your attacker's health history or maybe different problems that could make worse. So good point, Dixon. And we always have to be safe in both our training and out in real life situations. We don't want to find ourselves in legal matters afterwards for something that we've done. Now let's get to John Cena. John Cena, Be a Work in Progress. Another signed book here. I got another signed one for my collections. I actually pulled two off today for that. This is basically a book of positive quotes and such. If you're familiar with John Cena from his movies or his wrestling, I really like the guy. And one of the reasons I like him is he holds the record for most Make-A-Wish appearances. He's helped more kids with the Make-A-Wish than anybody else. And I really like that about him. He's a very positive individual. If you follow him on Twitter, you're going to have all these different little positive tweets daily. That's basically what this book is. It is a collection of his positive tweets. Just happen to stop at this page. Be inspired by others is a helpful way to find yourself. Being inspired by others is a helpful way to find yourself. Wanting to be others is a helpful way to lose yourself. And then the other page, always be a work in progress, the name of the book. Always be improving yourself. Weakness is a strength. With so many people worried about being perfect, vulnerability and showing weakness are the absolute keys to growth. So just a good positive book. If you like his tweets and you like positivity, you're going to enjoy these little quotes and tweets. And I like John Cena. I liked him as a wrestler. I like him as an actor. I like him as a person with the Make-A-Wish Foundation appearances and helping the kids even more. So really great little book for some positive stuff. Before I get to the third book, I'm going to say a couple things. There's one daughter. I'm not sure who you're talking about, Jay. Eric says, good morning. Appreciate you being here, Eric. Dixon says, Cena, best superhero role ever in the movies, of course. Eric, is it fall yet? Not quite. Can you choke out summer? We could try, Eric. Getting a little hot where you're at. It was funny because last night, I can't talk much. I'm not going to tell you what film we were doing, but it's here in Montana. And we've had warm weather, but we had to play a scene where it was below zero and we were all cold. So last night, I was bundled up, had a blanket over me near a fire, and the actors here, we're all sweating to death, but we're playing that it's a really cold night, and we're all bundled up by a fire. So I'm ready. And Eric says there are 3 daughters. I'm not sure who daughters you guys are talking about. I must have missed something, but I am going to get on with the next book. I need to finish this so I can hit the road. I'm traveling today. Way of the Seal by Mark Devine. Mark Devine was commander of U.S. Navy SEALs. He's retired. Now he does a lot of different things helping businesses and people succeed using principles based on the military principles that he learned and used as a Navy SEAL. I enjoyed this book. I do the same. Being a former military, Army, 82nd Airborne Division, then a sniper in South Korea with the 2nd Infantry Division, I have always applied the military things that I have learned into my business and civilian life as well. And I enjoy books like this that take those principles and help people apply them to life. One of the things Mark talks about here is box breathing, also called combat breathing. Loren Christensen writes about it in some of his books. I often refer to Mark and this book when I'm talking to business people, schools, hospitals, and I'm teaching the combat breathing or box breathing as part of my active shooter response programs, as part of some of my other safety programs, because I believe breathing is so important. And I often reference him and others to let people know that this breathing is taught worldwide in a lot of different capacities because it is so important and it can help you. And that's often when I mention this book. But he talks about things such as leading from the field, developing front sight focus, bulletproofing your mission, doing today what others won't. There's a way to get ahead right there. That's a principle that we could talk all day about. Do the things others won't, and that will help you achieve things that others don't. Forge mental toughness, breaking things, building your intuition, thinking offense all the time, and training in the way of the SEAL. Those are some of the chapters here in this. Really good book if you want to take some military principles from the Navy SEALs, apply them to your own life to succeed in business and just in your personal development and life better. Great little book to help you do that. Dixon says only good if there's pizza. He's kidding with Eric because he knows that Eric's in the pizza business. Eric says, have a great day. I appreciate that, Eric. You have a fantastic day and a great weekend as well. I'm hitting the road and heading to my uncle's 70th birthday party today. And here's a little fact for you. He should have never made it to 70. He has cystic fibrosis. And it's because of the modern day medicines and some of the things that came out even within the last couple years that have kept him alive and functioning and able to do things, a quality of life that was never possible for my mom and his sisters who died decades and decades ago. And so he was a lot younger than them. And now his 70th birthday, which didn't ever think he would see with the cystic fibrosis. And that right there is just a testament to we have great things going on in this world. And there are people out there working on cures and things that can help people that have genetic diseases such as CF and allowing them not just to live longer, but to have a good quality of life as they age. And we need to remember that sometimes. I talk about negative stuff an awful lot, active shooters, violence, and so forth. But there's a lot of good in the world, too. One of the reasons I want you to pick up John Cena's book and have some positivity in your life. But that's where I'm heading. As soon as I get off this, we're hitting the road and we're traveling to his 70th birthday party. Jay says, sorry, my typing skills. My daughter would love the book. I got you. There's your daughter. Okay, so Jay, she would love the book. Awesome. Probably pick it up at Barnes & Noble, find it on Amazon, get that for her. John says, thank you. Have a great weekend. Happy birthday to Uncle. God bless. I appreciate that, John, very much. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, too. I am going to get off of here so I can get to that birthday party. But this week's recap, Fighting the Pain-Resistant Attacker, one of many, many books on self-defense and martial arts that Loren has written throughout the years. I endorse pretty much anything that he's written because I have many of them. I like Loren. He's a great guy, and he has shared so much throughout the years. John Cena, be a work in progress. That's what all of us are. We should all be works in progress, trying to improve ourselves every day. Great little book with his tweets, positive little messages, get you thinking about that. Start your day right by reading a positive tweet every morning or two. And if you like military principles and you want to apply some to your life so you can improve yourself, do better at business, Mark Devine's Way of the SEAL is a book that can help you do that if you apply some of these SEAL principles and tactics to your own life and business. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Appreciate all the comments. Appreciate everybody that shares and joins and likes and all of that good stuff. Go to enjoylifesafety.com. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter that's starting up soon. Check out past editions of this if you missed one or two. Remember, I had those 5 scam tips this week. So if you missed any of those episodes, go back and check them out. Want you to stay safe and not be scammed this summer as you're out there enjoying life safely. And the last thing I want you to do this weekend, have a great time. Have a spectacular Saturday. Read a book or two. We will see you tomorrow with a special show about situational awareness and seeing things.